Hey everyone, and welcome to this demonstration of our Coastal Payment Solutions web platform. My name is Richard Fernandez. I am the Business Development Officer here at Coastal Outsource Solutions. On the demo with me is Mike Smith. He is our Senior Director of Default and Payment Solutions. During this demo, Mike is going to take you through the features and functionality of our Coastal Payment Solutions, or CPS platform. CPS allows your borrowers the convenience of making their loan payments from any external account directly on your website any time of day. Along with that, the Agent Assist portal gives your customer service or collections team the ability to accept payments over the phone, as well as set up recurring payment schedule, ensuring your borrowers remain on time with their payments. With that, I will turn you over to Mike, and he can walk you through CPS.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. What you will see here in a moment's time is the landing page for our demonstration site. Right now, what you're seeing is our Coastal demo site. However, all of the information that you're seeing here can be completely branded to your financial institution, including color schemes and logos, etc., as well as any of the information that you can see here on the screen as far as text goes can be completely customized to the needs of your financial institution. What I'm going to show you initially is there's two different flavors to this platform. There's a guest site and then there's a registered site. The guest site is used for individuals to come in, quickly make a payment, and then quickly jump out and get on with their day. So in this case, I'm going to show you how easy and quick it is for an individual to go in and make a guest payment. The requirements for the guest payment are going to be their account number as well as their authentication method, which it could either be the last four digits of the social security number or the first five digits of the zip code. So I'll key this information in. It's requiring a CAPTCHA, pretty standard. Go through, continue, and then what you're going to see next is basically the landing page for the individual who's making a payment. It'll have some standard information, account number, name, email address. This email address can be changed by your customer and it can also be fed by a daily account master file or a refresh data file that's pushed into the system. You'll see here that there are funding source details. You either have the option to choose a pre-existing funding source that was created prior to the date that they're making a payment, and they also have the ability to add new funding sources, be them bank account or debit card accounts. So you also can limit how many debit or checking accounts you want to have on file, and that'll all be sorted out as part of implementation. But for the purposes of this, I'm simply going to show you, take you through the payment workflow. You can either choose today's date or a forward date. I'm going to choose today's date, and then you also have right here, you're going to see the payment amount types. So there's current balance, monthly payment amount, or a free form data field. These can also be customizable, and the hint messages can also be customized, and these would all be fed by your daily refresh file. So here, I'm just going to key in an amount, hit continue, and then it's going to bring me to the next page. The next page is essentially a confirmation screen. It's going to read through and show the information that you've entered, and also just confirm that you want to use the payment. Push the payment through to the final page, which is ultimately going to be the confirmation page. I'm going to push confirm here, and then you'll notice that you get a message that says that your confirmation that your payment has been completed, and then an email confirmation has been sent to the email address on record, and then some basic payment detail here, including a confirmation number. At that point, as far as the guest site goes, you are done. That is the end of the line on the guest sites. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to show you the registered site. And the registered site has a little bit more functionality to it. Initially, your customers are going to be asked to enroll themselves in the site itself, where they'll be asked to create a username, create a password, answer a handful of security questions for a password reset should they ever need it down the line, and then finally to create a funding source. Rather than go through the creation workflow, I am going to just go through and log in to the site here. So again, all of this is completely customizable, but you'll notice it has a little bit of a different look. And the reason for this is it's going to show information as it pertains to their individual account, the last payment account. You'll also notice here off to the right that they can enroll in pay by text. Pay by text is a neat function. Basically, what they would be asked to do is enroll their telephone number and then simply walk through what amount they want to pay, how many days they want to have an alert sent to them prior to the date of the payment. It always is driven by the due date. And then what payment amount or method they want to use, which would be any pre-existing funding sources, as well as adding a different funding source. At the conclusion of this, a confirmation text will be sent to the user's telephone, and they will from there have the opportunity to opt in or opt out. In this example that I've just displayed, if we went through and had a reminder sent 2 days prior to the due date, the end user would receive a notification that states, you have a payment due in the next 2 days from today. Would you like it to process? They will then be prompted to push yes, or type yes, I should say, type no, or do nothing. If they type yes, the payment will be processed. If they type no or do nothing, no action is taken. The payment is not processed, and they do not. They're in no danger of a payment being processed without their go ahead. Additionally, they have the ability to control any of the alerts that are sent out and to where, both text and email. And lastly, you'll see over here that the basic profile information, email address, phone number, login ID. They have the ability to change the password and also change their security questions, and also to fully cancel their enrollment entirely. Payments. You'll also notice down here there's a freeform help area. They can type in any of this criteria here, and the results are going to return in real time what it is that they're looking for. So if I want to view payment activity, it's going to show any payment activity in the last 30 days, and you can go back as far as a year. In this case, I don't have any, but you get the general idea. And then lastly, they're also going to be able to set up either a one-time payment, or they can set up recurring payments as well. So really, this area of the system, the registered site, has a lot more of a robust functionality that enables your customers to manage their payments, manage their payment history, and manage their payment method, as well as enable some kind of useful functionality from text to emails, and then also the recurring payment options. So then, lastly, as part of the system, there's going to be an agent site, and the agent site is basically something that's going to be used by your collection team, your call center, anybody who is customer facing who could field an incoming phone call from somebody who may want to make a payment. they'll log in, and what they'll see is kind of a little bit more of a robust search function. This is because they'll have the ability to search the system based on any of the data points passed in the daily refresh file, all of which is going to appear here. Also, off to the left, they have what's called System Center. They have the ability to look up previous files, upload files, download any files, any posting files, and then look up any previous correspondence. And off over here, you'll see user management and online reporting. I'll get to that in a moment. The one thing that is kind of nice about this system is, regardless of the channel and regardless of what or whomever is using it, if you're in the registered site or if you're in the agent site, all of the systems are integrated to the point where if somebody makes a guest payment and they call an agent, the agent is going to be able to capture any of the previous payments that were made and be able to review them right there in real time. So in this case, I just did a $251 payment. And when this comes up, you'll see that there's a payment history that will indicate or will display that $251 payment. So this one here is the one I created a moment ago. Because we're in the agent site, depending on permission level, you would then have the ability to edit the payment or cancel the payment entirely, as well as see previous payment history. From here, they'll also be able to view active or any pre-existing funding sources. And then they're also going to be able to manage any of the payments, either one-time or recurring payment enrollments that exist. As far as the administrative functions of the agent site, they have the ability to create, edit, and delete users within the system. And they also have the ability to manage those individual permission levels and really tailor make it to the need of the end user. So in this case, you'll see that there's a modify button, and then when I drop this down, there's check boxes. I could remove any one of these individual functions within the system simply by checking or unchecking these check boxes. And then when that end user logs in, depending on what action was taken, they'll either have the ability to further see information, or some information that may not be required by their end user can then be pulled back. From a reporting perspective, the system has the ability to track all activity in the system itself, from payment reporting. So you have payments processed. This is going to capture any payment activity in a given day or in a date in a given window. You'll also be able to look up payments by entry date. This section is going to deal with today is November 19th of 2021. If I go in and look at this, there may be payments that are dated out in the future, but it was entered on the 19th. Any activity on the date range or the individual date that you choose is going to be displayed here. Returns. You'll be able to pull a report that shows daily returns, or again, date range that request. Payments refunded, similar to returns. You'll see any payments that were refunded, or any payments that were refunded either by an individual date or a date range. Unprocessed is any payments that are in the system that have yet to be processed. And pending payments are payments that are waiting to be pushed out to the individual payment banks that have yet to be pushed out. And then the customer activity report is basically going to show what is being used in the system, how and when, and what has happened, again, through any individual date or date range. Customer reports deal with adoption, enrollment, unenrollment, and status. So suspended, disabled, etc. All of that can be captured within this customer reporting area. Settlement reports are used mostly by accounting or the individuals who are dealing with actual monies being moved from the originating bank who's sending the payment to your FI. And this is going to show that money actually being moved into your settlement account. Bill pay onward settlement is any money that is yet to be sent by those banks. Intraday report is going to show any activity in a 24-hour window based on the time of day of your business day. And then lastly, this card reports, there's one, but you'll be able to pull it and it will show any debit cards that have an upcoming expiration date. This is useful because you can also use this and enable a notification on as part of implementation that basically says, your debit card that we have on file that you have tied to a recurring payment is going to be expiring soon. Please update that, either contact an agent or do it through the web portal. So a lot of really great functionality here. It has the system also has the ability to lock not only end users, so agents, but also you have the ability to manually control what customers can be in the system and when. And this is very useful if for whatever reason you feel as though one of your customers may have been either performing fraudulent activity, or for collections reasons you want to be able to force the issue of somebody to be able to reach out and speak to an agent directly and not just drop a payment in a payment portal kind of unannounced. So a lot of really, really good stuff here. And there's a lot more that we can go through, and I definitely think that we could display anything that your payment system needs may require. So that was really it as far as the brief overview of the system. Thank you very much, and Rich.
All right, thank you very much for that, Mike. Very informative, great job. We hope you enjoyed what you saw in CPS, and share our belief that this state-of-the-art payment technology will give your institution a distinct advantage in offering your customers both added convenience through technology, as well as improving your institution's cash flow while reducing operating costs. The best part is when you partner with Coastal Outsource Solutions, you'll be provided a single point of contact responsible for implementation of CPS, as well as the training of your team members on using the platform to ensure you're taking advantage of all of its features. My contact information is listed here on the screen. Please feel free to reach out at any time to learn more about CPS. Thank you very much for your time.